Nintendo's got us all hyped up for their new big summer game called Splatoon, and the hype has definitely been deserved, because Nintendo has created an incredibly fun, deep third-person shooter that is not just for hardcore gamers. And that's not just because it's colorful and cute looking. The gameplay is tailored in such a way that even if you are terrible at the game, you can still score points and win. You see, in Splatoon, you control an Inkling, a creature that can turn into a squid at will and that can travel through paints. The goal in the game is to paint as much of the floor as possible while fending off an opposing team that tries to do the same. The regular instinct, of course, would be to go up and just shoot the other players, but in Splatoon, that's not the ideal strategy. You need to find a balance between painting the floor and taking out other players. This creates some intense matches that leave you guessing until the very end whether you won or not. Splatoon not only plays great, but it also looks the part. When I started up the game for the first time, I noticed the overall presentation was just great. You know, the Wii U is not the most powerful console around, but Nintendo just knows how to make a game look good regardless of system limitations. The game is incredibly colorful, it's creative, and it has that early Jet Set Radio-ish style that I thought had disappeared from face of gaming. Now, for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was playing an original and new game, not just a sequel, a remake, or remaster. You will go to war in skate parks, malls, and other cool urban areas ripped right out of Tokyo City. By winning matches, you will level up your characters, you get access to all sorts of new weapons and clothes, similar to a Call of Duty. Yeah, like Call of Duty. That's weird, isn't it? Well, there's a wide selection of weapons that function kind of like assault rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, and snipers. And I could talk a long time about the weapons and what they do, which one's the best, but I won't. All I can say is they are well balanced, and most of them, yes, even the so-called overpowered paint roller, will feel equally powerful. All have their strengths, and all have their weaknesses. The clothes, on the other hand, give you stat boosts, and individual items of clothing can also be leveled. And I found collecting weapons and clothes to be fun, and it never felt like a chore trying to get enough money to buy them, so grinding is out of the question. Now, as much as I'd like to praise the gameplay, in other areas, Splatoon falls a bit short. Take the stages, for example. There's only a handful of them, and even though they're all fun, it seems like Nintendo released this game a bit too early to fill a release gap. On the other hand, I'd rather have a few well-designed stages that are fun, rather than a whole bunch of okay ones. The same goes for the multiplayer modes. The standard multiplayer mode called Turf War is literally the only one available besides the ranked mode. After you reach level 10, the rank mode gets unlocked, but because I played a review copy of the game, there was no one online yet, so I can't tell if that's fun or not. Some standard modes like Capture the Flag are strangely missing, but free DLC is on the way that will solve these issues, but it would have been better if these were in the game from the start. But I can't fault the game for free DLC that is coming, but, you know. But at last, let's talk about the single player. While fun, this mode seems kind of like a wasted opportunity, and that's mostly because it's too short. The levels are fun and constructed in a Mario Galaxy-like style, but they function more like small obstacle courses rather than a campaign or a story. As I said, they are fun to play, however, very easy. Even the final boss is kind of a pushover. In every level, you can collect these things called sunken scrolls, which, besides giving you some funny backstory on the events of the game, they don't give you anything. I went through all the levels and I collected them all, but in the end, I got nothing. And that's a shame, but of course, the focus of this game is definitely not on the single player, it's the multiplayer. And that's where Splatoon excels. This is a game you should definitely get. So Nintendo still has a lot to learn when it comes to making games like this, but it's a solid start nonetheless. There is free content coming in the following weeks, so I trust that Nintendo will do a good job like they usually do. So I hope you enjoyed this very first Super Roasted Turkey review, and if you did, why not press that subscribe button for more awesome stuff coming in the following weeks, like Let's Plays, videos and game designs, and more reviews. We're gonna talk about retro games, new games, all games you can imagine. And if you're feeling frisky, why not leave a comment below? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next review.